Here, y'all. It's a repoints at RoBs Inferno while it burns slow. Hey, shout out my guys and goddesses know high vibrational hearing beings. You know what the fuck it is, man. You getting this shift, y'all. So, yeah, I couldn't really talk to y'all but so much earlier because when I was just when I was talking about how to articulate yourselves, like how not needing to use violence and just needing to study anatomy and be able when we go to these hospitals. Yeah, and y'all know how you go in there for anything and they try to take our blood because they know what our blood means because they know from a species standpoint here we are. Like most of them, majority of them doctors, especially the surgeons, that's why they always try and take our blood. But literally when I was talking about that, they kept messing with the live and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like when I was talking about that, but that's something that all black women need to do. Y'all come before us. All of us can only come from y'all. So I want y'all to see it really what it is that our children ain't nothing more insane than us feeling safe with our children in their clutches. When they fed our children crocodiles, when they did experimentations on our children, there go they mess again. That's how I know it. I know it's purpose. My service is fine. My service is fine. And it's like as soon as I start trying to talk about certain things, this is what happens. This is exactly what goes down. So I met this human being. I want to say like a month ago, and when I met her, she was in like a homeless situation and stuff. Right? She's going through a financial struggle. Again, like I would never judge a person for their financial situation, but when it comes to me seeing like an unnatural person that's homeless and stuff, I don't be trying to hear none of that shit. Because I be looking at it from a straight standpoint, flat out like, how is you going through a financial struggle in a system that's designed literally around y'all, all unnatural people? There should be no unnatural homeless people or that's in poverty and stuff like that. And like how you barely see them. I point all the time, like you'll see a black person that's struggling before you'll see anybody else, right? But it should be like that though. If anything though, it should be like that because this system is designed completely against me, And that's why me and the next black man, like we're divided in how like we don't respect each other from like a collective majority standpoint because we're out here thinking like them and win individually. We never been like that. We've been all about family and coming together to build. Even besides family stuff, we came together. Everything we come together. It's never self, The only time it was self is us being selfless, Like what's the best for the collective? What's the best for our species? What's the best for our offspring? But everything in which the system in which we live in now is completely against that. It's all in French ways. So the white woman that I met, so she was going through a financial struggle. And what I'm basically going to do now is I'm going to talk about. I guess you could put it in the order of stereotypes, but not really stereotypes, but just the mental attack around this monetary system we're in, and how without even a lot of people realizing it, how they're controlled the way how they view just regular daily basis type stuff, like not thinking from like their own mind standpoint, but from the majority of how everybody's going to think about a situation or how that would be viewed. So, like a month ago, I'm at Mason, right? A month ago, I'm at Mason, y'all, and it was a white lady that had like a whole bunch of bags or whatever, right? And she started to me first. Like her energy wasn't bad or anything like that. But the reason why I'm bringing her up is because of course, like I didn't judge her or anything, right? I spoke to her. Everything was normal about her as far as like her able to comprehend and stuff. Like nothing was like wrong with her at that moment. Like she was like aware, she was conscious, And she had like three like big bags with her, like suitcases. Like it was so much with her. Like how you see like a person's going through your financial struggle, and they might have like a whole bunch of bags for them, and you'd be like, how do you carry all of that? No, like this woman had more than like even of an average person that you would see with a lot. Like I was like, there's no way you're moving all this by yourself. There's no way. There's no way that you can carry all of this. Even me as a male, I wouldn't be able to carry all of that. You gotta be leaving this and then doing whatever you want. You're just staying with your stuff or waiting for somebody to pick it up or something like that. Like one or the other, you know? And I wasn't gonna ask her, but it was just something that I acknowledged, right? And this is something, the reason why I want to talk about this is from a standpoint of anybody that's going through financial struggles, to not let the mental attacks get to you, because that's what I'm about to break down, the mental attacks around it. The average, and this was a human being, right? The average person would say, y'all know how people view you when they see you struggling. Like they'll look at you like you crazy as shit, like you dumb, like you don't know anything. The whole time you'll be smarter than them, but they wouldn't even know it or even guess it, because a lot of people are ignorant and just think when they see you financially struggling that you're just stupid and you don't know anything. You know, a lot of people think like that. You know, so I'm speaking to this white woman, like we're speaking of like a whole bunch of different topics, and I was kind of touching on the basis, you know, without trying to offend her all the way, because I eventually wasn't going to tell her, and I did. And when I did, about like, you know, what's going on with us, our story and stuff, she ran around, and this is how I noticed she was smart, because the way she ran around the side and used cognitive dissonance towards when I told her straight up what's going on with us as black men, and how people are trying to ignore it, what we going through from a majority standpoint. She tried to beat around the bush and shit. Like the way she did it, I said, "Oh yeah, you're definitely aware." I said, "If you wasn't aware, you wouldn't have been able to like dodge that like that," and almost as if like you didn't comprehend what I said. You know what I'm saying? And I know why she did that, because it was so real. It was so real. It struck her, and she didn't have an answer for it. Right now, again, I see her like 3 days after that or something, right? And I basically just ended the conversation short, because I could just tell that she, her energy was too avoidant about real issues that we're really facing, you know. And I just couldn't deal with her, you know, being unnatural on that level of, you know, trying to play dumb. So I see her like 3 days later or whatever. And I swear she even had like more bags with her. Whatever, right? Seen her again. When I seen her again, she was I guess what we would know as like talking to yourself. But like she was now I know what's happening with that P136 deletion chromosome. Like I know what's happening with a lot of unnatural people from that standpoint too, just having them, you know what I mean, act all like wild and stuff. But my whole reason for bringing this up is just saying, you know, I use a human being, like an inorganic person, but I'm saying this for us, because there's so much of us black men out here that while we going through things, and we know what we got, how and what we got to be strong in, it's people that try to like project onto us to like try to attack us, to make us crash out so we can get locked up and stuff. And like they'll attempt like certain things to try to provoke us, you know. And like in a situation like that was a white woman, right? Like I said, she had a regular conversation with me. Everything with her was fine. But when I seen her the next day, she was acting like that. Now, with her, that's most likely, like I said, her anatomy breaking down. She unnatural. But with us, you see one of us in that situation, it's completely different. First off, our genetics is different. But what I'm trying to say is how the system will, how a system will look at you as soon as, how people in the system will look at you as soon as you go into your financial struggle. They'll just shun you out. And they'll shun you out in a way that's like very, very disrespectful. And you know that you're normal, and you're a normal person. You're not fucking crazy. You know exactly what you're living in. You know what's going on. You know, you might even got smarter as you started struggling, because you're seeing everything from different angles now, right? And that's an energy, because when once you start seeing stuff for really what it is, or just in general, just start thinking with your own mind, you're going to start seeing stuff for what it is, because you're not thinking from the standpoint of what's being told to you how to think. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people can't see stuff for what it is because they can't even just get past that. But once you get past that, you see what I'm saying? This is why that energy of like spitefulness comes your way from almost, it seems like, everybody, because the majority of people you're around, even regardless of their genetic makeup, they think that this is how we're supposed to be living. Let's be real, we all damn near thought this was how we're supposed to be living. So it's like, so basically what I'm saying is you're combating that without even trying to. You just figured out what's what, and you're acknowledging stuff. But for the majority of masses, like you walk in like a regular shopping center, most of the people haven't got that yet. You feel me? So what I'm trying to tell you is, even more so, if they see you struggling, and this could happen to anybody in any standpoint in their life. But I'm saying it from the standpoint of it happening to you, right? You're struggling as an organic person. But I use a white woman, you know, to get you to understand more of what I'm saying. You know, this is how this will play out. Like everybody that was looking at her, they probably was like, damn, they probably wouldn't even have thought that she could have had a regular conversation, because just how she was acting in that moment in her financial situation. You know what I mean? The whole time she was able to comprehend everything and all of that shit. Y'all get what I'm saying? Now that's the same way we'll be looked at. You know? That same way. And black men, y'all know what I'm talking about. How we get these, if you ever go through your struggle, how you'll get looked at, and then you'll be more on your feet or whatever, and then you'll be looked at like a different person. Basically what I'm saying about financial struggle, you'll be looked at like you're psycho and you're insane, because however so you got in this situation, you're going against the natural way of things by you being in that situation, even if while you're playing it, y'all. Even if while you're playing it. So it's a very, very it's a very, very serious thing. I just feel like it needs to be noticed. I feel like, because I could tell y'all endless stories of like that coming my way, where it's like, you know, somebody just because of my financial situation, they trying to make me seem like I'm just crazy and I'm here for me, like I don't know what I'm doing and shit like that, you know. And that shit is like OD, you know. So I just wanted to speak on that briefly, but I'm gonna tap it with y'all in the Lord, but man, it's a very important problem. Inferno while it burns. So shout out to all my guys and goddesses